We know how Jenkins is one of the most widely used tools when continuous integration of process is concerned. So today, we will see how we can set up Jenkins in a system and run a basic job. In this video, we will see step by step. First, how we can set up a VM in the Azure Cloud Platform, followed by installing the Jenkins prerequisites and setting up Jenkins in the VM, and finally running Jenkins and building the first job. Alternatively, I have shared the links for VirtualBox setup in order to create VMs. So first we would select the default image, that would be the Ubuntu latest image, and the size which we will take as the default. Then select the authentication type, which we would be selecting as password. We'll be entering the username and the password which will be used to SSH into the particular VM. Once we confirm this password, and we'll select on to next into disk options, we'll select the default, we'll move on with all the default options in network, click on management, and then proceed to click review and create. Once it validates, we'll be able to create. Yes, and now we'll fast forward until it gets created. So here we can see that the deployment has been done successfully. So now we can SSH into this VM. We'll copy the public IP using which we can SSH into the system with the help of the username and password which we set. So here we'll type SSH username @ the IP. IP is this particular following. We'll add the public IP. Once we hit enter, it would ask for the password which we entered. We'll enter it and hit enter. Yep. So now we are successfully into the VM. So now our next task would be installing the prerequisites. So we'll start off with sudo apt update -y. So all necessary updates would be done. Once the updates are done, the next thing is we'll install Java, the JDK, which is a prerequisite for installing Jenkins. So we'll install it using sudo apt install openjdk version 11, so -11 JDK. We will fast forward the installation process. Once the Java is installed, we can check the version of Java using Java -version. So that's the version. So now we'll go to the Jenkins official website. We can just search by Jenkins. Here's the official website. Once we go there, we'll have a documentation on how to install. We'll use the Ubuntu Debian column since our OS is Ubuntu type. We'll click on it. So there would be few instructions. So what are the commands will be needed to use to set up the whole Jenkins. So all details are present. We'll just copy the first one, the curl instruction, go to our VM and paste it and follow for the remaining commands. Here we have already done the sudo apt-get update, but we'll still do one more time to check if there is any more update pending. Yep, it's all already updated. So OpenJDK we have already installed, so we'll directly jump into installing the Jenkins files finally. So we'll copy it. So now once the installation is done and completed, we will run the Jenkins service. So for that we'll use the command sudo systemctl start Jenkins. Now we'll see the status of Jenkins, sudo systemctl status Jenkins. So here we can see it is in run, an active run status. So by default Jenkins is exposed on port 8080, so we need to allow traffic to port 8080. For that we'll unlock the firewall using sudo ufw allow 8080. We'll update the rules, and now we can try to connect to Jenkins using the public IP. But even before that, especially since this is set up in a virtual machine within a cloud provider environment, we still need to do one more step. So that is, we'll go to the networking section, and here there is one network security group. So here we have to add an inbound rule which would allow any source to connect to this destination port range 8080. Allow, I will keep everything as default. Once this rule is created, we can connect to Jenkins using the public IP colon the port number. Now as you can see, it's asking for unlock Jenkins, so we can get the default password for starting in this particular location as mentioned here. So we'll go to the terminal and get hold of the password cat, and this location will paste it. So this is the initial password. We'll copy and use it to log in into the system. Once we continue, it would ask us to install the suggested plugins. We'll go with this option. We'll install the suggested plugins, and once the installations are done, we can move ahead. We can create a first admin user, which is recommended for starters, but since this is a demo, we'll skip and continue, and we'll see how to run a basic job in Jenkins. So we can create a new job from this new item option. So in our case, we'll create a Java file which would contain a simple print statement that the job is run successfully. That we will compile that particular Java file and then run and execute that particular class file. So we'll create a Java file in our virtual machine vi demo.java, and we'll get public class demo, create a main function, public static void main, and write a print statement. Once done, we will save this file, go back to the Jenkins setup. So we'll enter the name of the job demo, select freestyle project as default, proceed as OK. We'll look into the remaining options in our following videos. So there are multiple options here available. All are not mandatory to be used for a particular job. In our case, we'll be basically building it using execute shell commands. So first we'll go to the build section and select on execute shell. So here's the build option. Yes. So here we'll execute shell. So first we'll check the base directory where the files are getting stored using pwd. This is the first command. Next we'll see the content ls. Next we'll copy the Java file which we created and from this following location to the base location, demo.java. Next is we'll check the content, again ls, then compile the code javac.demo.java, then finally executing the class file and ending it with another ls. So once we are saving it, we can click on build now here, and we can see it has been successfully built. We click on it and see the console output. So here all the outputs are visible. So the current directory is _var live Jenkins inside Jenkins workspace, and inside workspace by the name of the job demo. Here listing, under listing there is no line since it's empty, so no output. Then the copy command, and the copy command, once the copy command is done, it also does not give any output. So here ls gives the demo file which we have copied. Then javac, we are compiling demo.java, then we are compiling java demo. The output of the java demo, first job runs successfully, then we are listing it, all the 3 files. So this is how we can build a basic job in Jenkins and execute it. In our next videos, which will be upcoming, we will learn how to schedule jobs which we can run after a certain time interval or can be triggered on any particular action getting completed. I'm planning to create a full playlist regarding Jenkins from A to Z, regarding all types of options, the types of runs, building pipelines, and much more. So if you like the video, please hit on like, and if you're interested in such content, please hit the subscribe button so you're notified for the upcoming videos. So till then, bye.